guys, welcome to week 4. This week is a great week to get some feedback and do some refinements on your visual order booklet. And I'm going to show you now how to set up your file so you can create your mockup. So if you come to Illustrator, let's kind of ignore that slowness there. And I have a bit of a cold still this week, so I'm sorry about if this is a little difficult to understand. So what I'm asking you to do is to create this multiple page PDF booklet. So this is not something that you will print. This is something that will always be a screen resolution size. And I'm going to show you in Illustrator how you can use Illustrator to create that. So this is going to help you for your mock-up that's due later this week and the final form. So you should be able to set this up one time and go from there. So if you come to File, New, you're going to see up here are some document style and types. So if you come to Web, this is going to automatically give you a screen format, screen resolution. It's going to say everything in pixels. It's going to give you an RGB color mode. This is what you'd like. And the resolution is going to be a little smaller. So what I've asked is for, let's put that into inches. I've asked you to create a booklet that's 5 by 5 inches. And this is going to give you a square page. Over here, you're going to see artboards. This is where you're going to have the option to have multiple pages in this document, in this booklet. So let's go ahead and put 10. Then we're going to check our assignment sheet, and I'll show you once we're in the file how we can edit that. So this is kind of a quick standard page layout system. So every page of your booklet is going to go in cascading order. Over here is the list of pages. You can actually right click, you can double click these and expand. You can also name your artboards so that you don't forget. So this I'm going to call cover. This last artboard I'll call credits. You definitely want a table of contents. So let's say, and then through here I would go ahead and double check your assignment sheet, and I would name each of these pages based off the amount of Gestalt and visual order principles. So if you come back here, let's go ahead and I'll show you where to double check your assignment sheet. If you come to content, we are in Gestalt, so not the Illustrator. We actually want this graphic design project 1. This is going to let me see it. So we've got similarity, proximity, closure, continuation, figure ground, symmetry, order, and asymmetrical balance. So let me tab back. So come through. So similarity definition or term. Similarity image. So proximity, closure, continuation, figure ground, symmetry, and asymmetrical balance. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. So we're going to need to add some pages because each of these pages is going to need a term page and so proximity term. I'm going to go ahead and do closure. Okay, continuation, figure ground. And I'm just going to go ahead and believe I have symmetry and asymmetry. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and zoom out. We should be able to see, so I move down here. So you should be able to see this is basically your layout. If you follow, as you click here, double click, it's going to take you into the cover. You essentially have 17 pages, and they will build in the same order that they are listed here. So regardless of how this layout looks, they actually are listed in cascading order in this artboards panel. If you're not seeing your artboards panel, you can go to your window, artboards, and it will pop up. And then you'll want to go ahead and fill in each section. So when you're on a term sheet or a table of contents, make sure you practice and play around with your typesetting tools. So you'll use live text and you'll want to type this out. If you're on an image, you would either be making this image using your vector shapes and pen tool work, or you may be placing a photo similar to, and you may be placing a photo depending on which kind of form you have. Once you have this document filled in and you are remembering to add some final credits at the end, so this would be your name and you'll want to come down right here, your name, complete as a requirement for the graphic design course at Washburn University. You will have a front and back cover. This credit can be on that back cover. And you will make sure each item has a term and definition, so you need the definition also. You'll want to stick with a cohesive theme, and You'll want to either use a vector composition, so that's what I mean by graphic, or a photo of that you have built yourself. So these are not photos that you find online. These are photos that you build yourself. They don't have to be expensive materials if you are building a photo similar to some examples. So they can be as simple as a jar of sprinkles, as you saw in one image, um, and they don't have to be too expensive. Once you've got this document filled out, so you'll want to save as. And you'll want to save this with your project title and your last name. You want to make sure that all books, all of the pages are selected, so not a range. And you'll hit save. Here you will go ahead and you should be able to make sure this is optimized for fast web view. And we can go ahead and hit save. Whenever I create a document, I always double check. So I come and I check my document. You can see my document is actually empty, but here is actually all of the pages right here. It's a small file size, and that is it. So to summarize, make sure that you are creating one single PDF for your mockup. So you're doing that, I'm suggesting, with Adobe Illustrator, just because that's the program that we are currently working with. There's actually many ways that you can do this, although Illustrator or InDesign would be preferred if you're comfortable with InDesign. At this point, I don't want to go ahead and show you InDesign because I think it's a little easier learning curve just to learn how to do it in Illustrator. So using the artboard feature, you can actually create an artboard for each page. You can save as to create a single PDF that has all artboards included. You're going to name this PDF visual order with your last name, and then you're going to turn it in our content. You should have a submissions folder. You come here. This is again part of your process for visual order. So you should see that every time we have a project, we have a process file, and then there's a final folder. So next week, when visual order is officially due, you will turn your final PDF in here, but you will keep adding to this process folder at this point. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to seeing your books.